Yo, let me hit you up though, cause I'm about to start streaming right now. All right, all right, bro. All right. So first thing is first. Let's change the name. Okay. All right. I think we got it set up. Let's see. I think I had something else that it would delete the video after I'm done going live. Okay. All right. I think we're all set up. Okay. All right. So let's move on with this repair. Okay, so what I have in for repair. Well, let's say first thing is first. It's been a while since I've uploaded any video because the editor that I was using is he was just kind of taking a long time to upload the video, to edit the videos and upload them. So once I stopped using them, it kind of threw me for like a curveball. I didn't know, like it was like almost like I gave up hope on repairs um, because of that. I'm trying to see if my stream is live now. Let's see. Trying to see if I'm live. I'm trying to see if I'm live, but I'm going to assume that I am. Yeah, I'm going to just assume that I am live right now, even though I don't like to assume. I have like the worst timing, right? So as soon as I go live, I get all these calls. Uh, I hate to feel like I'm second guessing myself if I am doing what I'm supposed to be doing. Uh, but either way, stream is healthy, everything is healthy, everything looks good. So regardless, so that kind of slowed me down, but I still do repairs. So I still have like a few different repairs. I kind of organize the desk a little bit differently. But let's move on to what we're going to be repairing today because I don't have much time to be live. So what it is the Nintendo Switch, and you can see the Switch right here. Let's see if it turns on. It's probably just going to give us this. Yeah, so there it goes. And the battery's low. When I plug up my charger, I get nothing. So the charger port seems good. Okay, so I'm not sure what happened here. The customer did take it apart and they replaced one of the bumpers. Yeah, so they replaced one of the bumpers. If I'm looking at my meter up here and I'm trying to see what I'm charging at, I'm getting nothing. I can't show that to you guys, but trust me when I say nothing is happening, you can see for yourself even if I turn the charger around. Sometimes it'll be broken and one side will work, the other side won't work. Right now, I don't think the issue with this is the charging port. I think it's actually the BQ chip. It's been a while since I've repaired one of these. but I think that's what it's called. Let's go ahead and let's take it apart and let's see what we got. Let's see what we got. And when you're taking these apart, there's only 10 screws, or maybe a little bit more than that. We got 5, 6, 7. The screws on the bottom are different from the screws on the back. So these back screws are different from these screws right here. And we already got one missing from there. And then all you need to do on this side is this middle screw. You just need to take it out if you're taking this apart. The other screws are there, but they're holding in this the connector for the controller. And on this side, they didn't put the screw back in. Let's check underneath this SD card slot right here. Let's see what we have. And we should have one more screw, and we do. So if you want to, you can actually just lift this off if you'd like to. It's not going to hurt anything. I choose not to. Let's see if there's any games in here. Maybe it would have been extra. Give us a little bonus. Free game. Alright. I don't want to break anything because this switch is in really good condition. I want to keep it that way. So when I'm finished and I put it up for sale, it's, like I got it. So there we go. So we have the back off, and we're going to take out these other screws right here. And let's see if maybe the customer just didn't connect up something. I don't know what they could have not connected up. I'm not sure. But I want to find out what's going on with it. I think I'll have to remove the board also in order to get any soldering done, because if I don't remove the board, then I'll end up like kind of melting the plastic. But we will see here in just a few minutes what we have to work with. Okay, and there we go. We have the top off. So what I think is going on is this chip right here. So let's go underneath the microscope and I can show you guys that a little bit better. So here we are underneath the microscope. So I'm thinking it's the charge controller. Because everything here seems good. And when I look into the port, I don't see any pins that are damaged. But I'm just thinking that maybe if there was something wrong with this chip, if it would be, in a short circuit, right? Or is it the battery controller? I really don't even know where to start. If it's the battery controller, so the battery's not charging up. It's either the battery controller, this is what I'm thinking. Either we have an issue with the battery controller or we have an issue with this chip right here. One of them is not working properly. Okay? Let's first replace the chip that we know is responsible for charging and see if that fixes the problem. If that does not fix the problem, then we'll move on to the charge control. So let me go ahead and find both of those chips, and then we'll go from there. And while I'm doing that, still kind of in the organizing phase of things, so I'm gonna still try to organize as much as I can as I'm doing all this stuff. Because I see, all these, everybody that I pretty much watch, they're I realize one thing that they have that I don't have is organization. I'm not very organized, and I think that is actually slowing me down because I'm not organized. So I spend a lot of time searching for things because I don't know where they are, because I didn't put them up properly. We're gonna need those screws also. Nintendo Switch. What is this? Think we found it. All right, so we found both. Okay, we have found both. Yep, so it's the M92 chip. That's what I'm going to be replacing. M92 is right there. Let's move our scope this way. And that way we can get a better look at this. M92. And this should be M92. M92 T36. And let me get you guys in. And that's the chip, okay? So let's I think because the automatic adjustment exposure maybe is on auto. Yeah, so we don't really want the exposure to keep fluctuating. We want it just to stay where it's at. Yeah, I don't want it to keep on going back and forth. And okay. All right. All right. I mean, I can't. I'm sure there's a way for me to get it looking better. I'm just not up to it right now. All right, let's just remove this chip. I can't just waste time focusing on fixing that camera right now, because like I said, I have limited time to fix this. So let's get started. So what I'm going to do first, or not first, but what I'm also going to do is put some tape over the battery area to help protect the battery from any heat. And so yeah, I don't even know where this. Uh, so maybe in OBS. It's telling me something about the keyframes. Bit rate. Yeah, I'm not sure what I need to do in order to get that error message. It's supposedly have opened some widget. I don't know what widget it's supposed to open to help me fix this issue that I'm having, which is with the frames. Yeah, I'm still trying to figure out this. I'm just going to record this first one and worry about that later. So let me just continue and protect the battery, because I'm going to be soldering pretty close to it. So I use a tape to hold this little heat. Okay, and let's get a tip and put on here. I think that tip is too thick, and that one is perfect. Okay. Okay, and I'm going to be doing this with high temp. That's just me. You don't have to do it this way. You could definitely do it with a lot lower temperature. And like I said, especially because it's plastic, I think it might be plastic, I'm not sure. I'm just slowly adding heat and then removing it. So I'm just slowly getting the board up to temp before I remove this chip. Okay? And there we go. That's up. Okay? And we have removed it. So now let's get our iron and let's clean up the area and add a lot lower melting temperature solder, and that way we don't have to use as much heat to put this component back. Okay. So this is definitely not going to be a long stream. Okay, that's good. I'm not going to sit over here and try to fight with it. I mean, you don't have to add you don't have to do this. This is definitely a step that some people skip. It's how you choose to solder. You don't have to do it like this. You could simply just skip over this step. It will make it a little bit more difficult, but it can be done. Because I know somebody might be like, why are you even doing it? You know, if you have to ask why I'm doing it, then you don't need to do it. You can do it however you like. And then when you get your result, then you can try it this way and see which one suits you better. You know, this takes a little bit more time, but I think I get a better result like this compared to the other way that I usually do, which is just take solder and just add to that, and then usually I just add the chip on and I'm done. And that's fine, that will work too. I don't think there was a component there. We're not going to use any flux remover right now, but let's go ahead and put some more flux down, and then we will solder the chip in place, and that should be it. And you notice that this is not, it's not super clean, because I don't feel like it has to be in order to get this job done. I just think I need to remove a good amount of the old solder and add my own. And if you're wondering, you know, what this iron is that I'm using or anything of the sort, just simply send me an email, and I'll try to answer the email. I believe also I have a phone number on the live that you can also send me a text message with any questions that you might have, and I'll try to answer them. Okay, so I'm just using this as a place for me to put this chip, while I also add a little bit of solder to these pads. Before, I never used to do this. I used to just take them, just stick them on there, and it works. I just like the result a lot better doing it this way, so I have stuck to this method. Okay, and there we go. So now we don't need that high temp, so we're going to change it. And then we can clean this up afterwards. It's no big deal. Alright, so our dot is right here. Yep, that's our dot. And we already have enough flux on the board, so we're not gonna add any more. We're just gonna simply come in here and start heating up the board. And I'm just going to look for all of this solder that I put on here to get kind of shiny. Or not even shiny, just look for it melt. And if it doesn't melt in the time that I expect it to, I will raise the temperature. Okay, so there we go. We can see it starting to melt. See these ones over here on the right hand side right here, closest to me, those ones started melting. So I'm going to go ahead and place this chip in, put this chip in place, kind of move it over a little bit, make sure that it's where it's supposed to be. Then I'm going to pull away the heat, and then I'm going to higher my temperature and my airflow, and I'm going to press down on this, and I'm going to come in here and just blast it. There we go. So I watch for it to move over in place, and then I just simply pull away my heat. I'm going to lower my temperature again. Because I want to make sure that this is seated. So I'm going to press down one more time and wait till I see the solder come out the side of this chip like that. And once I see it come out, I know that that's in place. Because that's the extra solder that I had put underneath this chip. That's what you see coming out. Okay? And then simply go back over with your iron, clean up any extra solder that you're seeing come out of the chip. So that's what I'm going to do now, is just kind of clean up all around. Just like that. We'll add a little bit more flux. I'm not going to go too crazy with it because it's pretty much done and I don't want to have a lot to clean up. So you see what I did there? I pushed the solder all the way to the last pin, and once it got to the last pin, just like that, I just kind of scooped it off. Okay? So there's something that you can try. Okay? So now we're going to come back in here with some alcohol. We're going to first clean off here. You can see it melting this tape right here. We can go ahead and remove this tape. And in the general area that I was just soldering, I'm going to show you that now. If you look, there's nothing melted over here, which is good. That's what we want. We don't want anything melted. And these get thrown away. You're going to see me use something else here in a few seconds. You don't have to buy this product. You don't have to use this product. The alcohol will work just as well as this. I just like to use it. Well, first thing is first, let me just use my smaller rag just to clean up here. So now let's get that final product that I was talking about. And where did I put it? Let's see, where do we have it? Unless we threw it away during the cleaning up process, because I don't see it and it's a big can. Should be easily seen. and I don't see it. I honestly don't even know what happened to it. Probably find it later. But like I said, it's not that big of a deal because you don't have to use it. If you have alcohol, that will work just as fine. So anyways, let's go and I'm gonna test this and see what happens here. So let's switch and I'm not even gonna connect up the battery. I'm just gonna plug it up. Okay. And it looks like we have some kind of activity now. So let's plug it up. Let's see what happens here. And yes, and there we go. So now we have charging. So now we have the charging symbol. Okay. Let's turn it around the other way and let's see what happens. And there we go. So now we know that it's charging. So it wasn't a charging port. And when I bought this from the customer, they said that it's a charging port. But I knew from experience, kind of like game consoles. And I'm saying this to anyone that might be trying to get into this business and they're repairing stuff. And it's just like the simple jobs like this that can get really, really frustrating and kind of throw you for a curveball because the phone or because the device isn't charging, you might immediately think that it's a charging port, right? But if the charging port seems okay, if you look, you don't see any damage in the charging port or anything like that, I would not replace the charging port. I would replace the charging controller. So that controller, that controller or that IC is what's really stopping it from charging, because if there's no damage, physical damage to the port that you can see, you do like a little wiggle test and it's not, going from charging to not charging or anything like that, you might want to just move on to removing that charging IC and see if removing that charging IC and replacing it with another one will solve your problem. That's how I usually go about these repairs. I had an Xbox One S, and it was when you plug the HDMI cable in, you wouldn't get any video. The port looks great. There was no damage in the port. You probably could have replaced the port also. Console turned on fine, everything like that, which usually does even if the port is damaged. But I immediately went for that HDMI encoder because I suspected to be the issue. Whether it was a bad charging cable that was plugged in or a bad, not charging cable, a bad HDMI cable that was plugged in that caused a problem. Whatever it was, that's all I did was replace that chip and that solved the problem. Same thing with this one. I did take also, I did have the battery. I guess you can call this the fuel gauge for the battery or whatever, the battery controller. So the battery has a controller, the charging port has a controller. I chose to replace the charging controller. Now, if I was getting if the battery was charging, like if I look at my meter and I seen that, this thing is getting, let's say 5 volts, 2 amps, and it's not going up or anything like that, then I would probably move to the battery IC. So thanks for watching, guys. I'm glad that I'm able to upload again. I'm feeling it. Hopefully I continue to feel it like this and I'm able to upload these videos. I don't want to upload long videos. I just want to upload some short repair videos for you guys to watch. I will put up some videos where I've tried and I've failed. I'm currently working on actually a Steam Deck, which I might make a video for. I'm not 100% sure because it's getting kind of complicated with this device. The customer changed the shell, and in the process of changing the shell, something happened where the console no longer display an image. It'll turn on, but it won't display an image. And right now, for instance, it won't turn on right this second. Okay, but let's see if I disconnect the screen, if it'll turn on. because what I've been having is an issue with the screen. When the original reason for this repair is this customer changed the color, and when they changed the color, the screen no longer worked. Um, I thought, hey, maybe it's a damaged cable, or something is not connected up. So after I took it apart, look, there's nothing that I seen that stood out to me. Um, they said that they've already had the screen replaced, and the company that replaced the screen said that it wasn't a screen issue. But I don't believe that it's not a screen issue. I do believe that there's a problem with the screen. So that's why I ordered a new screen to put in here and to test it and see if that's going to solve my problem. So I might upload this video because this might be a failure, and it would be good to show failures. It's not a bad thing to show failures, uh, because with success comes several failures before success in anything that you do. So we'll think about this video, see how far we go with it. But thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next video.